When it comes to game modes in Call of Duty games, there's some you just can't go wrong with. Team Deathmatch, Domination and Search and Destroy, to name a few. It's when the developers start experimenting with outlandish, erratic ideas for game modes that things can quickly get out of hand and on the fast lane to a dead player base. We'll get to those, don't worry, but to begin with I'm going to kick us off with possibly a controversial decision from Call of Duty 4, Sabotage. Guarantee there's like 7 dedicated Sabotage players watching this already leaving a dislike and an angry comment, but bear with me here. Also, all the videos of these game modes will be linked in the description, but I'm including Sabotage in this list mostly because of the people who played it. Guilt by association, yes. I'm an objective player at heart, so I'd be there breaking my neck trying to plant this daft bomb while 11 other players are having a 20-minute team deathmatch. The spawns don't flip either, so if you and 6 random players come up against a party of 6, be prepared for the longest thrashing of your life. I'd rather rub my chin on a cheese grater for 20 minutes than that. On the other hand, if I plant the bomb and win the game within the first minute, suddenly I'm the arsehole. Honestly, I remember getting death threats because I dared to actually play the objective on Sabotage. Awful. Next up is a really obscure game mode, quote unquote, from World at War, Boot Camp. It was basically team deathmatch for new players of the game, specifically up to rank 8. What could go wrong with that? How's about players well above rank 8 being able to glitch themselves into the fucking noob sanctuary and turning it into 11 health for these poor souls who barely even knew how to aim down the sights? I mean, I did kinda do this once or twice back then myself, but that's beside the point. This glitch was basically just clicking through the game menu fast before the game realises you're not a new player but instead a level 65 MP40 juggernaut wielding maniac. It was eventually patched, so these players now had the option to play on the opposite of Boot Camp, Veteran, but who wants to do that? You'd always rather take your chances of coming up against noobs on regular team deathmatch, so this game mode was about as populated as a sleepover in Chernobyl. And don't forget, you can go from Boot Camp to Veteran by ringing that wee bell icon when you subscribe and become part of the notification squad. Superb. Plug-in Marley. Next. Bare Bones in Modern Warfare 2. Imagine going to a Ferrari dealership and saying, I really like this car, but can I buy it without the engine? That's what playing Bare Bones is in Modern Warfare 2 to me. No kill streaks in the game with the best kill streaks ever. We've all been on the receiving end of a chopper gunner that's hovering above our spawn, or a nuke ending our game prematurely, but it never got to the point where I wanted rid of them completely. In fact, it made me want to get my own kill streaks even more, to get my own back. Furthermore, Your Honour, death streaks were still able to be used in Bare Bones, so you're still going to be faced with some bullshit at some point. And anyway, even if you did want to play Bare Bones, you're more likely to have the words "no game found" ingrained on your brain than actually play a match. I feel a bit harsh including this game mode because it's a nice try from Infinity Ward, Team Defender. Basically there's one flag which your team tries to grab, but instead of returning it to your base like in Capture the Flag, you try to hold on to it. It's also like Team Deathmatch, as in kills earn you points, but the team with the flag earns double the points. I just think this game mode, it didn't really work, it didn't flow well at all. It's very much spawn rush die, spawn rush die, spawn rush get the flag for 10 seconds, die. A bit of a headache to be honest. The spawns didn't help either because the game would actively try to spawn the enemy close to the flag carrier. Moving on to Ghosts, and Infinity Ward are at it again with their experimental game modes, and I just want to say there's nothing wrong with trying out new things, but let's be honest, Blitz is bleh. It's like a shite version of Capture the Flag. The objective is to run into the enemy team's goal to score a point, and if you do reach the goal, you're teleported back to your spawn to do it all over again. Sounds like a right laugh. The crazy thing for me is that Blitz was actually a competitive game mode, like the best Call of Duty teams in the world, playing in the biggest tournaments, had to battle it out for millions of dollars playing Blitz. Wow. We aren't done with Ghosts yet though, because we also have Crank, which was wank. Sorry, it's Cranked, but that didn't really work for the... Anyway, this sounds like a fun game mode on paper when it's written down. You get a kill and you move faster, reload faster and aim down sights faster, and get more points for kills while cranked. What do you mean while cranked? Well, you have those fast abilities for 30 seconds and then you explode and die. No, but the 30-second timer resets every time you fuck up, mate. Like Team Defender I mentioned earlier, this mode just didn't really flow well at all in my opinion. Kill, die, I actually found it pretty frustrating. And I know there'll be some people who'll argue that maybe I just wasn't very good at it, and that's why I didn't enjoy it. And that may be true, but despite being a self-proclaimed demon at COD, I think I represent the average player, and thus Cranked was shite and quite a frustrating experience. Here's a game mode I genuinely did not know existed. For real, I don't remember this game mode at all. Reinforce? Can I even include it in the video if I never played it? It's a mixture of domination and search and rescue, which, props to Infinity Ward, was a fairly decent new game mode in my opinion. But Reinforce involves capping 3 flags to win a round, but you've only got 1 life unless your team captures another flag which respawns you. I'm not sure at all. In fact, this game mode might be amazing for all I know. I'll let you decide if it's right to be included in this video. I'll tell you a game mode I know for sure deserves to be in this video though. Uplink. Yep, the Call of Duty game mode. I'll repeat, Call of Duty game mode, which involves throwing a ball, a satellite, into the enemy team's goal. Uplink station. Fuck me, you can score 2 points for carrying the ball into the goal or 1 point by throwing the ball into the... Who's even still listening at this point? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember in the build up to Advanced Warfare, Sledgehammer Games were hyping up Uplink to be the best competitive game mode for COD ever. There was a huge emphasis on this, and I suppose they got their wish, it was used in competitive, but at what cost? Because I also remember in the very rare occasions I thought to myself, I want to give this game mode a try, the lobbies were barren, not to mention Uplink was often skipped in the mosh pit playlists, and if you skipped onto Uplink, most players in the lobby couldn't get out of there quick enough. It'll be interesting to see if we see a return of Uplink in World War II, obviously not with exosuits and satellites, I hope. And last but not least, another potentially controversial inclusion, Safeguard. Treyarch employees thinking you were getting out of this video unscathed? Think again, but seriously, what the fuck were you thinking here? One team trying to escort a robot that can break down into the enemy team's spawn, while the enemy team sets up the Great Wall of China for you to try and breach. The game mode isn't that bad to be fair, up until the final 10% or so of the robot's journey. It just becomes so much of a grind for the attacking team that you begin to wonder why we need to usher this robot here in the first place. Surely we have other robots elsewhere. This robot can't even fight and it's prone to malfunctioning. Just leave it. Honestly, I need to calm down. That's it for this video, folks. Let me know your opinions on my opinions, and did I miss any game modes out? Let me know in the comments. If you're going to suggest a game mode to be added into the list, let us know with an obscene amount of detail in the comments. That could be quite fun too. A like on the video is very much appreciated as always, and of course let me know any future video suggestions you have for me. Have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.